What's up guys, and welcome back to another episode of Career Mode. This is episode number 129. We're starting today's list by seeing Atletico Madrid are indeed Copa del Rey winners. Now of course I briefly touched on it in the last episode, directly before the first leg of our Champions League semi-final, and directly after our victory over them in the Madrid derby in La Liga that saw us crowned champions with 5 games to spare. Atletico had that Copa del Rey final on the weekend, so whilst we'd be fully fit and rested for their first leg, they had to come through Real Valladolid, and come through them they did. 3-0 the final score, and I guess the question was rest versus rust. Atletico playing 3 days prior to this one in a cup final, but they've got themselves the momentum and a big win and some confidence. We've got fresh legs out there. What's going to be more important in the first leg of this Madrid derby Champions League semi-final? And I could not wait, because our battle with Atletico this season have been great. We beat them at the Bernabeu, we beat them at Metropolitano. Both games in the league we recorded wins, but in the Super Cup, in the only knockout game we've had against Atletico, we lost to them in the Super Cup and they dumped us out in the semis. So taking them on here, I'd say we were favourites, but not by much, especially after Atletico's win on the weekend. But so early on into the game, we had the early breakthrough. Ansu Fati, the former Barca wonder kid, now doing it at the Bernabeu, makes it 1-0. And then 18 minutes in, bags his brace. What a timeline has occurred in this FIFA career mode. The former Barca wonder kid with the world at his feet, turning from hero to villain in Catalonia, moving to play for their great rivals Real Madrid. Well, let's just say there's been no adjustment period for him here since I've been in charge. He's been amazing this year, absolutely brilliant, specifically in the league. He's our second highest scorer in La Liga, and his 2 goals early on in the game give us a comfortable lead as we continue to attack, looking for the third. Gutierrez mugs off his old teammate, but just couldn't squeeze it in for what would have been our 3-0 advantage. McGeady spins round Santos, but hits the post, and Atletico clinging on in there by the skin of their teeth. And 30 minutes in, they desperately needed a goal. It was all one-way traffic at this point. They needed to get back in the game. A great save by Streniak kept it 2-0 though, as they had a chance to get back in the game in half a deficit. And right before the break in the first half, we'd been the better team. Fati causing the damage, goes down the left, beats Ibanez with the skill, crosses to the back stick, and it's Ferran Torres who leaps like a salmon to head it in and make it 3-0 Real Madrid. Not Robbie, but the supporting cast coming up big in the first half. What a great piece of skill by Fati. He was just toying with the Atletico defenders this first half here. And Ferran Torres with a big time header finds the back of the net. Real Madrid 3, Atletico Madrid 0. And that was how the game would finish. We did the job in the first half. In the second half, kind of just sat on the ball a little bit. I've talked about it so many times before, but one of the reasons why I've become better at playing against the AI now is by employing those game management tactics. And I've mentioned them many times before. There's a little bit of time wasting in there on the first 2 minutes. Sometimes I will go towards the corner and just recycle possession back out and just go from left to right to keep the ball at bay from my opponent and keep hold of the ball. You know, those Louis van Gaal tactics I talk about. If we got the ball, they can't hurt us. That's true. I do time waste a little bit, but just really not forcing so many bodies forward. Because I mentioned before, the AI are so good on the offensive end. If you do that and you get exposed, there's always a chance they'll come up the other end and bite you. So that's one of the reasons why I've got so much better against playing against the AI. You know, in the earlier days of playing FIFA 22, and the fact I've just managed to, you know, feel like I'm more confident nowadays, but in the earlier days I conceded so many late goals. That's one of the reasons why, you know, I wasn't really thinking about it logically. You know, I kept on throwing bodies forward, you know, regardless of the score, all out attack if you will. And sometimes you just need to know and say, do you know what, I've done the job, let's just hold on to the ball and keep these points. So yeah, big win there, and just like the previous 2 legs against Barca and of course against Milan as well. Well, that's the Barcelona tie. I'm not going to think the job is done, but we have definitely got a very strong chance of making the final now. So following game on the weekend, as we know, 5 games to go in La Liga. The title is won, however 4 wins in our remaining 5 will see us set a new points record in La Liga. So the following game on the weekend, Athletic Bilbao. I knew that would be the case, but I still decided to make 9 changes for the game because we had Atletico in the second leg in the week, and I wasn't going to take any chances after what almost happened at Barcelona tie. So 9 changes, only Alessandro and Streniak, who captained the team, would start this game. And oh, this was so frustrating. On the hour mark, Athletic Bilbao back in the game. But this was so annoying, man. One of those games where I always take responsibility, and I will once again, and say I mistimed it. But it's one of those where you think, really? Ball over the top. You might have seen the power bar flash up there. I asked Montez to nod it back to Streniak, and instead he just seemed to miss the ball completely. Brink runs onto it, and the new gen smacks it past Streniak to make it 1-1, and a missed opportunity at the Bernabeu. We needed 4 wins in 5, and we failed to get it there. Yeah, 1-1 the final score. Very frustrating indeed. Should have got the win in that game. So didn't play our best football first minute. Again, 9 changes. It was always going to be tough against a good Athletic Bilbao side, but either way, no doubt about it. That's a slip up. 4 games to go, and it means now we need 3 wins in our remaining 5 to set the record. No. 3 wins in 4 to set the new record. Yeah, because the point is not actually a terrible result in the grand scheme of things, because it meant that all of our players were fully fit for the second leg against Atletico. That was the most important thing. And because of where we were with 9 points, the gap with 5 games to go, we could actually afford to have 2 draws and 3 wins. That would also give us the Liga points record, I believe. My maths is correct. It might not be, because I often get it wrong. But even so, it wasn't a terrible result in the grand scheme of things, because the most important thing was I knew that Atletico would have some tired legs for the second leg, because they would take their league match more seriously than we did. So heading to the game, we were far fitter than our opponents heading to this one, as I rested 9 of my starting 11 for this game here, the second leg of the Metropolitano. So coming here, in the league, we beat them 2-0 in the first half of the season. In the Super Cup, Nacho Pereyra's brace dumped us out in January. The question was, what Atletico Madrid would we meet tonight? Well, we were 3-0 up over 2 legs. I felt as though unless we collapsed horrendously, like we almost did against Barca, this tie should be ours. And if we got an early goal, that would surely do it. And 20 minutes in, ask and you shall receive. Robbie sent through 1-on-1, drills it into the bottom corner. And what a season our captain has had. He's got the La Liga Golden Boot. You know it's going to be his. Nacho isn't going to catch up. But in the Champions League, going for that as well. Gabriel Jesus right now has the most in the Champions League with 9. But Robbie's now got his 8th, and he's catching up to the Brazilian very quickly. Atletico 0, Real Madrid 1, and of course no surprise, it's Roberto that gives us the goal. And 38 minutes in, Atletico needing a miracle here, but unfortunately for them, they're coming up against a goalkeeper who I've got so much love for. Streniak, on top of his game, tips the Llorente header over the bar, and keeps it at 1-0 on the night, and from the corner, makes another brilliant save to keep it at 1-0. Denying João Felix from 6 yards out. This dude, man, I made him captain for the Athletic Bilbao game. I love him. I absolutely love him. It's still 1-0. It's still 4-0 over 2 legs, but he couldn't do much about this one. 11 minutes after the restart, Atletico needing a miracle, and it's that Uruguayan again. Nacho Pereyra, who makes it 1-1. As their Uruguayan puts Atletico back in the game. The individual battles between the Uruguayans, Gutierrez and Pereyra, are absolutely class. It's 1-1, Atletico find their level on the night, but we still had the 3-goal cushion. And unlike against Barcelona, where we almost threw away a 4-goal lead, I was thinking, I'm not going to let it happen again. I am not going to let that happen once again and put myself in an awkward position. So from kickoff, passing the ball around, left to right, right to left, keeping hold of the ball. I surrendered it momentarily, but oh, you can't do that against the most lethal attack in Spain. Ibanez dilly-dallying, we quickly rob it off him with Fran Garcia pushed high up the pitch, and as our left back alert as ever, rolls it across. Robbie beats Jan Oblak to the ball, slots it into the bottom corner for his brace, and our 5th over 2 legs. And that goal there would just knock the stuffing out of Atletico. They had the lifeline, they had the dream chance to get back in it after they got that goal through Pereyra, but once Gutierrez got his 2nd and our 2nd, I knew then that would do it. The 4-goal cushion restored, it's 5-1. But Atletico just don't know how to give up. But I talked about in our win against them in La Liga, I really like battles like this where they know they're beaten but they keep on fighting. I love it. Push me, fight me. I want to be challenged. I certainly was in this game. Despite a 4-0 lead we had at one point, we do win the tie, but not the game on the night. 2-2 the final score. Atletico, to their credit, battled back twice in the game in a battle of the Uruguayans. Robbie and Pereyra all square with 2 goals apiece, just like the scoreline. But the aggregate scoreline was, of course, a 6-2 6-2 victory. Sorry, a 5-2 victory for Real Madrid. We are into the Champions League final for the first time since joining Real Madrid manager, our third CL in 4 years. And in the final, we have not got Manchester United, the team I wanted. We had them last year with AC Milan, but instead, it will be our first meeting with RB Leipzig for the first time in a save. Haven't faced them before, but we will now in the Champions League final. But before we get there, the real question is, can we win 3 of our final 4 games and set the new points record in La Liga? Well, you'll find out in the next episode. But that will in today's episode of Karima, guys. Big fan fortune. Hope you're enjoying. If you please drop a like. Much love to you all. Have a fantastic day, and I'll see you for the penultimate episode of Season 8, the final La Liga games, as we chase that new points record very soon.